It's the second round of the Class 6A state football tournament, and it brings us back to Circle Pines, where tonight Edina, the number 3 seed of Section 6, takes on the number 2 seed of Section 5, the Centennial Cougars. And hello, everybody. I'm Nick Walsh, alongside everybody else, the cast here from North Metro 15. And we should have a great game here this evening, as two teams that know each other very well will match up on the football field once again. This is a matchup between the Centennial Cougars and the Edina Hornets, two teams that played each other earlier this season. They opened the first game of the season, but let's take it back even further. Back to the Class 6A second round, this same round back in 2017. It was a snowy affair here at Centennial as Edina got the lone touchdown of the game on a 1-yard run by Nick Cavanaugh. Centennial had the ball late at the goal line, less than a minute to go. Sam Bonfi with a couple of opportunities to try and get into the end zone, and after a couple of opportunities, quarterback Ryan Koob tried his hand. It all came down to a fourth down play in which Koob held it but could not get in, as the Edina Hornets were able to hold on and move on to the next round. As you watch Koob here just slipping first on the snow and then over a defender, unable to get into the end zone, as the Edina Hornets celebrated right here on this field 2 years ago by a final score of 7-0. Let's bring it up now to this past year when these two teams met again. And it was a back-and-forth affair. A touchdown by Jonathan Bunce got things going early, but a 44-yard touchdown pass from Zulk to Connor Anderson tied the game at 7 after one period of play. Edina, a couple of kind of suspect calls ended up giving Edina some opportunities here on a punt play. No penalty was called on that. It ended up setting up a touchdown when Sanveen was able to throw to Anderson for a 15-yard touchdown. But Centennial would try and get back into the game here on a long touchdown pass. That was Anderson again from Connor Zulk, and Centennial would not go away in this game. Here was a play, another suspect call in which that was out of bounds, but if you see on the replay, it looked like maybe 2 feet were in bounds. Nonetheless, Centennial continued to push as another touchdown there on the 2-point conversion got it to within 21-20, but the Edina Hornets were able to score late with another Bunce touchdown to make it 28-20, and then Centennial fumbling the football on the last drive of the game as the Edina Hornets held on for a 28-20 victory. Let's take a look at those 6A football brackets. This is one of 4 pods still going. Centennial hosting Edina here tonight. They'll play the winner of Wayzata and Eastridge. They're also playing tonight at Wayzata. As we take a look now, let's take a look at some of the players to watch here. This is Hamza Maleen, a wide receiver, very solid. These two teams both with dynamic receivers. Hamza Maleen, 6 foot, 170-pound senior. You can see 576 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season for the senior out of Edina. We also want to take a look at Sawyer Anderson. He's a two-way starter for this Edina Hornets team. Plays running back with more than 400 yards on the ground, is a pass-catching threat, and also is one of the linebackers for this Edina Hornets squad. Meanwhile, for the Centennial Cougars, obviously Carter Anderson, we saw in those highlights, a big factor in this offense, nearly 600 yards this season and 7 touchdowns rather on the season. And then on the ground, Tim O'Neill, the senior, 6'1", 192-pound senior, warming up there. More than 300 yards, also a pass catcher with more than 100 yards receiving on the season. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll have kickoff of tonight's game between the Cougars and the Hornets when we come back here on North Metro 15.
Piccolo Pecorino, Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Cannelletto, Saccomano, Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino, Allegretto ma non troppo piano piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
Back here at Cougar Stadium here in Circle Pines, as it should be a good one, a close matchup. The first time these two teams met, that one in Edina, this time Centennial, the home squad here tonight, and they will receive the football first as Edina won the opening toss of tonight's game, and they will kick off to this Cougar squad to start things out. Cougars a little banged up, losing their starting linebacker Garrett Strating. He has a fibula injury, broken fibula, and is out for the remainder of the season. So missing one of their main defensive players tonight. 5'11", 200-pound senior, had more than 100 tackles on the season, 101 to be exact. And so stepping in his place will be the sophomore Mason Mix. And we'll see all the starters in just a few moments as the Hornets are out on the field. Centennial on their way out as well. And we are just moments away, as you see Strating there on the sidelines this evening. Pretty nice weather here tonight. Temperatures in the low 40s, as you see Mix there. He's stepping in, the sophomore, getting the start here with Strating out for the remainder of the year. As Jackson Fensky will kick it off here for the Edina Hornets. Edina coming in with a 5-4 record again, as well as that victory over Centennial being one of them. Centennial overall at 7-2. As Larson and O'Neill are deep to receive for Centennial. Fensky is ready, and this second round state tournament action is underway. And one of the up men on the kickoff past the 30-yard line, and Centennial will receive good field position to start this first offensive possession of the day. As Connor Zalk, the senior, coming out. Last time around for the senior. And obviously all these seniors want to make a big impact, as you see Wolf, Sonderman, Boyd, Schultz, and Sam Johnson along the line. Anderson on one side, Austin Flashing, the running back, and August Johnson, the senior tight end. Larson, the starting running back, along with O'Neill, and the aforementioned Connor Zalk under center here on first down. As the handoff will go straight up the middle, and big action up the middle. Austin Flashing gets the carry, his 61st carry of the year. He's been one of the main offensive weapons on the ground for the Cougars, and that will move the sticks. A good run on first down up to the 47-yard line. That's a gain of 13 on his first carry of the day. Obviously, these two teams early in the season moving it through the air. A little colder tonight, it might be more difficult, as Zalk will keep it himself and gets flipped around. They're going to say that he was down after a 2-yard gain. O'Neill jumped on it, but Zalk was able to pick up a couple of yards. Dangerous play there as he did the whirligig. As we watch the replay here, Zalk holding the football and right over the top, pinwheels it around, but they say that his shoulder was down on the play. The ground cannot cause a fumble, so a 2-yard gain here. Now second down and 8. And Zalk looked like he was turned around a bit and takes the football up, and he'll make good yardage up to the 45-yard line. It looked like maybe Zalk was a little turned around. It looked like he was trying to hand the ball off to the left, and maybe the running back to the right was the player who thought he might be getting the football. And nonetheless, Zalk very good on the ground, coming in with 812 yards rushing on the season. He's the leading carrier as far as rushing yards this season for Centennial. 3rd down and 2. Motion in the backfield by O'Neill, and we've got a flag. And did they get the defense offsides, jumping early? And they did indeed. Offsides will be the call against this Edina Hornets defense. Watch here, right there. A nose tackle trying to come up the middle. That's Henry Vellner, 6'1" senior, trying to come up the middle, but a little bit early, and that'll result in a 1st down here for the Centennial Cougars. First 2 minutes here of this 2nd round matchup. 4 along the line for the Edina Hornets. They play the standard 4-3 defense, and we've got a whistle and maybe a timeout here called against the Centennial Cougars. So they'll use their first of the first half. And so the Cougars on their initial drive, obviously a shootout in their first matchup. They want to take advantage of any offensive opportunity, knowing that this Edina offense can be potent as well. Although they cooled off a bit after that first game of the year, Edina comes into the game averaging 19.3 points per game and actually give up more than they allow, or more than they score, I should say. They allow 20.8 points per game and score 19.3. So they're actually being outscored on the season and just barely outgaining their opponents. Averaging about 285 a game offensively are the Hornets and allowing 274. So pretty much even all the way across the board statistically. Out of the timeout now for the Cougars. Fresh set of downs after the offsides call. And Zolk will keep it. Now the pitch will go to Larson, and he's got some room around the near side. Close to 1st down yardage. We'll see where they mark him. Actually, they're going to mark him back at the 34-yard line. So a gain of 6 on 1st down. Nice play by Zolk. Committing and then pitching at the last moment. And 6 yards on the gain for Noah Larson, who comes in nearly 100 carries this season, 95. And there you see the stats, 668 yards and a touchdown. He's also got a couple of touchdowns receiving. So he has been a multifaceted player here for Centennial. 2nd down and 4. As the give up the middle again, and this time Edina holds true as Flashing will get the call, and a couple of yards gain. Noah Richards, the 6'1" junior defensive tackle, is on the stop for Edina, and that will set up a 3rd down and 2. This was the same scenario earlier in the game when Edina jumped off sides and gave Centennial that 1st down. Flashing the deep back on 3rd down. It's kind of a pistol formation as O'Neill in motion, and he'll get the call to the right, and he's got some room past the 25 and a 1st down. Another 1st down for the Cougars, as that will be close to 1st down yardage, or close to 10, I should say, a 9-yard gain. Another good pitch by Zolk, and finding O'Neill, who was in motion in the backfield for the 1st down. And so Centennial sitting just outside the red zone now. 1st down and 10 from the 23. As you see Tim O'Neill, we talked about him earlier today. Plays both offense and defense. As Zolk on 1st down fumbles the football and gets right back on top of it. Snap just a little bit high, but Zolk quickly able to hop on it. And so that'll be the first time today that this Centennial offense will move backwards, as they'll lose about 5 on the play. And it'll be now 2nd down and 15. Centennial spreading one out to the left. Carter Anderson, we haven't heard his name yet on this drive. Play clock down to 5 now. And 1 second left. They may not get this off. Just did. And now Zolk will keep it himself and weaves his way forward. Might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage And maybe just a hair more than that, but it'll be third down and either a long 9 or 10. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and 9 here for the Cougars, as Zelk just following his blockers again and weaving his way forward before Sawyer Anderson, the linebacker. We talked about him earlier today as well, the junior making the stop. And so now 3rd down, and do we have another timeout called? As we have an injury timeout on the far side of the football field. So an Edina player, that's Laban Kaheen, the free safety, is down, and looks like they're checking on his left ankle. Both the free safety and strong safety back there, they're brothers. Hamza Kaheen and Laban Kaheen, both juniors. One plays strong safety, that's Hamza, and then for the free safety, Laban, who is getting up under his own power. He's the free safety, so he will come off, but it's a bit of a limp to his gait. Let's see if we can see what happened. And the top of the screen there, well, looked like he just maybe set his foot and got twisted up there as well. Nope, there we go.
Yay. Thanks.
As Sam Johnson may have come down on it as well. So now 3rd down and 9 for the Cougars. They have to get to about the 14-yard line for the first down. And Zulk dropping back and throwing, and the pass is caught. And it might be right at the sticks. That's Carter Anderson, and it looks like it might be short, about a yard short of the first down. And most of his body was across the line to gain, but I don't believe the football was. And oh, what a great catch there by Carter Anderson, keeping it right off the shoe tops. As you see the quarterback's coach, Spencer Waldvogel, there, calling in the signals here for 4th down. They need all of a yard here on 4th and 1. And Zulk will keep it himself. He's got the first down. Inside the 10, down to the 9, and it'll be 1st down and goal to go for Centennial. When you need a yard and your leading rusher is the quarterback, he's the obvious one to give the call, as the fake to flashing and following the blocks for the 1st down, and we've got 1st down and goal to go. Centennial eating up more now than the first half of this first quarter on the initial drive. They'll send Anderson split as the single receiver off to the left. Motion in the backfield by Larson, and Flashing will get the call, and he'll pick up yardage up to the 5. Stopped on the play by Noah Richards, the 6'1" junior defensive tackle in the middle. 2nd down and goal to go. In a game where they lost with some somewhat controversial calls, you know this Cougar team wants to get an early score and get ahead to set the tone. And Zulk on 2nd down and goal to go. As the snap is back, Zulk will keep it. He's got room, and he's in for a touchdown. Connor Zulk, his 10th score of the year, and the Cougars strike first at 6-0. Zulk on the 5-yard run. And so the Cougars do indeed get on the board first.
And then just so you guys know,
now
I do have a
Hemrick
hit
coming
whenever
in.
we're ready for it, probably after.
So Edina scored first in the initial meeting this year. Centennial on the board first here, as Hemrick has missed just 1 on the season, and that will remain true. As with 5:08 remaining here in this first quarter, Centennial gets the opening strike and now leads it 7-0. A 66-yard drive culminating here with the Zulk 5-yard touchdown score. A big hole was hardly ever touched on his way in. Watching the blocking on the left side. Good block there by Brett Saundersman, the left guard. 6 foot, 235-pound senior grading the road for Connor Zulk. And the Cougars on the board at 7-0. Little razzle-dazzle on the sideline there, the coaching staff. like any good scorer. Comes out on special teams as you see Mike Diggins, the head man for the Cougars, walking the sidelines. These Cougars got a big win last week, 41-14 here over Stillwater. And they're looking to try and get to Chanhassen next Friday night to take on the winner of the Eastridge-Wayzata game. 13-play, 67-yard drive. As you see there, the Zalk touchdown, his 10th of the year. Bouncing kick, dangerous kick for the offense, and who's on top of it? Both teams digging around. It looked like maybe Edina got on top of it in the end. And it will be Edina football, and they'll have pretty good field position at the 35-yard line. And so here comes Edina out onto the football field offensively for the first time as Darren Lamker, the head coach for Edina, looking to move his team on to the next round. And on first down, the handoff will go up to Alex Illies, and there's no room there. As the stop for Centennial on first down. I believe that was Tim O'Neill in on the stop. As Diggins, we mentioned there. No gain on the play. Well, maybe about a yard. As this quick snap offense comes up. George Sanveen on the quarterback position, and he'll hand it off up the middle. And I believe that was Sawyer Anderson getting the call. It was, and he'll pick up yardage up to the 42-yard line. Gain of about 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. George Sanveen, junior quarterback, 6'3", 190-pound junior. Comes up to the line quickly. I formation here on 3rd down. And did Centennial jump? Looks like the flag will fly on the near side. And looks like this time it's going to go against the Cougars. So each team picking up a 5-yard penalty on their first defensive position of the game. And so that will move the chains. Both in the same fashion. It was 3rd down and 2 on the first series for Centennial, and now 3rd and 4. Enough for a first down for the Hornets. You see Sam Rudy, Troy Wild, Ryan Kirsch, Robbie Best, and Bastian Swinney across the front for Edina, as Illies will get the carry and a couple yards gained on the play. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. Tackle again by Tim O'Neill for the Cougars. O'Neill came in with about 4 tackles per game. You see the defensive line there for the Centennial Cougars. And the linebackers, we mentioned Mason Mix in there, or the injured Garrett Strating in the defensive backfield. 2nd down and 7. Everybody to the short side of the field. Sanveen looks. He's got nowhere to go. He's in big trouble, and down he goes. Big sack on the play for Centennial. Coming in to make the stop, Zach Frank, number 44, broke free and brought down Sanveen. And now a 5-yard loss will make it 3rd down and 11. Came in from that defensive line position, his first sack of the year. And it puts Edina in a 3rd and long situation as we begin to reach the late moments of quarter number 1. 2 receivers to the right, nobody to the left. Fake. And the rollout. The throw is going to be too far. Pass was intended on the near side for Hamza Kaheen. And it'll be 4th down, and so Edina will have to bring out the punting unit for the first time today. After a little waiting, Nathan Seymour will come out. And O'Neill deep to receive back at the 12-yard line. high and short, and Cougars want nothing to do with that one, as it will roll back to the 24-yard line. And so 2:09 to play here in this first quarter. And Centennial will have the football. And let's check in with Blythe Whaley down on the sidelines. What do you got for us, Blythe?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, this one coming out of the gate, Centennial now up 7-0. But talking with the Centennial coaching staff before this one, and they were prepared for this one to be an aggressive one. Both teams, I mean, really being physical, and we've seen that here already in these early moments. But then we take a look at, we swing it over, and we're talking with the Hornets coaching staff before this one, and they're telling us, hey, yes, we beat this team 28-20, only 8 points, and that was already August 29th. So definitely is some time away from this one. They know Centennial has grown and definitely is playing their best football at this moment, but they feel they are up for the challenge and they're playing their best football. We'll see what happens here in this playoff game.
All right, Blythe, and we'll see what happened here. It was he out of bounds. It looked like he was just a bit out of bounds. Thank you, Blythe Whaley, giving us the action from the sideline. And let's take a look at this one as the Cougars open it up for the first time tonight, and he was well out of bounds. As you can see, both feet were out of bounds as he came down. So 2nd down and 10. And Centennial looking for the jugular here in the first quarter. As Anderson spreading out. Receiver off to the near side as well. Motion by Larson. He'll get the call. Waiting for a block, and it's not going to get there, as he'll be stopped after a gain of about 2. And it'll be 3rd down and 8. Blythe mentioned earlier the coaching staff for Edina astutely pointing out way back on August 29th. So that is a whole lifetime ago when you talk about a football team. And these two teams are likely very different from that first game of the year. You don't always know exactly what you've got, and sometimes you find some players you don't know you had in the first and second games, and injuries take a toll, and so two different teams here tonight than there were back in August. Zolk waits, has plenty of time, goes deep, he's got a man! Down at the 35, it's Anderson. Big gain for Centennial. A 48-yard pass from Zolk to Anderson, and a 1st down for Centennial. All the time in the world, Zolk, 4 or 5 seconds he was waiting, and then found Anderson wide open. Found his way behind the defense, and Centennial's on the move again here in the final minute of the first quarter. So 1st down and 10 now. As the handoff this time will go straight up the gut, and Centennial gaining yardage all the way down to the 30 as Flashing will get the call. A gain of 5 on the play, and so 2nd down, and the clock running down. If they keep it on the ground, this may be the final play of the first quarter. Anderson alone. Receiver split off to the left. And Zolk will keep it this time, and he's in trouble. Taken down in the backfield by Henry Vellner. Vellner has made his presence a couple of times here today for Edina. And that'll be a loss of, well, they'll say maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's going to take us to the final seconds of the first quarter. And we have reached the end of the first quarter. After 1, it's the Centennial Cougars at home leading the Edina Hornets. We will take a break. We'll be back with quarter number 2. On the other side, you're watching the State Class 6A football playoffs here on North Metro 15.
Pecorino, Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Canaletto, Saccomano, Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino, Allegretto ma non troppo piano, piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
Set for quarter number 2 here at Centennial as the Cougars leading the Hornets by a score of 7-0. One of 8 games going on tonight. We'll talk about those games throughout the evening. The winner of tonight's game taking on the winner of the Wayzata Eastridge game. That'll be next Friday night at 7 o'clock. That game will be at Chanhassen High School. 3rd down and 5 as we start quarter number 2, and the handoff will go right up the gut to Flashing, and he'll be a yard or two short, but we're really kind of in the netherworld as far as 4th down situations, and Centennial likely will go for it here on 4th down. Officially 4th and 2. And they'll spread Anderson off to the right. The deep back here is Larson out of the eye behind Flashing. Zulk, the hard count. Now changing the play, still 8 seconds on the play clock. And now a whistle, and we've got a timeout, I believe. Centennial's going to use their second timeout, something that Mike Diggins didn't like on the near side of the football field. He came towards the side judge on the near side and quickly called a timeout. There was something about maybe Edina's defense that he did not like about maybe the play that was called. So instead, playing it safe, calling the timeout there, and they'll reset now with another 4th and 2 play coming up. It gives us a chance to talk about some of the other games coming up tonight. As we mentioned, Eastridge and Wayzata. In another quadrant, Buffalo, the number 6 seed in Section 6, taking on Mounds View. Also tonight, Maple Grove taking on Lakeville South down in Lakeville South. Lakeville really came on this year. They knocked off Lakeville North for the first time in many years this year. On the bottom side of the bracket, Blaine taking on Lakeville North. That's down in Lakeville as well. Shakopee, the number 6 seed of Section 4, taking on the number 1 seed Totino Grace tonight over in Fridley. Rosemount in Eden Prairie to take on the Eagles. And Prior Lake, the final game of the bracket, taking on Champlain Park over in Champlain tonight. A lot of good games tonight in this second round. 4th down and 2. Out of the eye once again. Zulk will keep it, and he's wrapped up in the backfield, and he's not going anywhere. Will Davis, the defensive end, was able to get his paws on him and pull him down. And it'll be 1st down Edina. So Centennial able to get the big play on the long catch to Anderson, but they are not able to convert on 4th down and 2, and they're going to give the ball back to Edina. As you see, Zulk turned backwards a bit, trying to get some leverage and some room, but unable to get away from Will Davis, and Hamza Kaheen as well is able to get the stop for Edina. So they'll get the football here at the 27-yard line, 1st down and 10. As Sanveen drops back and hands off to Illies, and Illies has had a couple of carries today, but not much so far, just a couple of yards each. And check that. That was Jonathan Bunce coming in, the fullback. He's been a big factor on the ground, but he too able to get maybe 3 on the play. Regular season action, he had 108 carries for 521 yards and 8 touchdowns. He was the leader on the ground for this Edina team throughout the regular season. 2nd down and 7. Sanveen falls down, but is able to hand it off, and maybe a yard gain on the play, but not much more. That could have been far worse for Edina. As Bunce gets the carry, but Sanveen could have gone down in the backfield or could have potentially fumbled the football. When somebody steps on your foot like that, you kind of get all kitty-wampus. And so now 3rd down and 5 here for the Hornets. And again, Darren Lamker on the sideline shouting to his offense. High formation. Lamker looking left, and he's got a man, but it's incomplete. As Hamza Malim unable to make the catch, Jake Pearson able to break it up here for Centennial, and it'll be a 3 and out potentially for the Cougars. And Sanveen dropped back, as you see, and Pearson right there. He was waiting till the last minute. He trying his best not to make any contact until the football got to the receiver. Now Pearson will drop back deep to receive back at the 30-yard line as Seymour is deep to punt back at the 17-yard line. another short one. Again, that's going to spin backwards. That had some funky backspin, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Just a 21-yard punt, and the Cougars are going to have really good field position again. Edina unable to move the football at all there, and now we'll see what Zulk and company can do this time with 9:48 remaining here in the first half. That's a couple of short punts for Edina today. If you're just joining us, Zulk, a 5-yard touchdown run midway through the first quarter, giving Centennial their only lead of the game. The only lead of the game. And they'll try to extend the lead here on their third possession of the day. They are 1 for 2 in scoring opportunities today. They'll mark it back at the 46-yard line. Shortchanged Seymour. It was a 22-yard punt. Well, Zulk is ready, moving the tight end August Johnson from the right to the left. And Zulk will keep on first down, and he's got a hole. And he's got some room, and he's got a first down. Crossing midfield and up to the 43-yard line. That is an 11-yard run and a first down here for the Cougars. Just following his blocks, you can see a big hole there. Once he gets past the initial line, plenty of room there for the Cougar quarterback. So now first down and 10. Single receiver again is Anderson. The handoff will go straight up the middle, and good yards for Flashing. Austin Flashing picking up about 6 on the drive. And so second down. Second down and 4. High formation this time. We've seen mostly that wing T, but the I this time on second down as Zulk is hit as he throws, but he's got Anderson open and he makes the catch. A touchdown, 37 yards. And as Anderson may be hurt on the play. So slow to get up as Anderson. We'll wait to see about this. 37 yards on the touchdown pass. But maybe a plus-minus play here for the Centennial Cougars. There's Diggins to his quarterback, and looks like bringing in some extra help as Zulk. A good throw. He was hit just as he throws, and you can see he makes the catch and then maybe got his ankle turned underneath the defensive player for Edina on the touchdown. We'll see if maybe we can see it from this angle. Watch that left leg right there. He kind of got leg whipped in between the left and the right legs of A.J. Dahl, the sophomore cornerback. And he is still down, working on that left ankle. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with more from Centennial. 13-0 Cougars right after this here on North Metro TV.
Lino Lakes is the gateway to the metro area, just minutes north of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Conveniently located on I-35W, this growing city still maintains its North Country feel. Lino Lakes is a safe, fun, and affordable community that values its award-winning schools. Outdoor lovers will discover miles of hiking, biking, and water trails. Growing businesses will find premier development opportunities with great freeway visibility and ready to help your businesses grow. Come to live, work, and play in Lino Lakes.
We are back here at Centennial High School, and a touchdown for the Cougars, but a bit of a somber celebration here is Connor Anderson coming off, and you can see he is putting absolutely no pressure whatsoever on that left foot. First the training staff and now his teammates helping to bring him off the field, and it appears that Centennial will not have their leading receiver for the remainder of the game, as the extra point is up and good, and so the Cougars take a 14-0 lead, and they may have to do the remainder of this work without Connor Anderson for the remainder of the night. So they've already lost Garrett Strating to a leg injury. They lost him earlier this season, 101 tackles, and now Connor Anderson, their leading receiver, appears to be out as well. 3 plays, 54 yards. And the catch from Zolk to Anderson for the touchdown, giving Centennial the 14-0 lead. So the Cougars, after playing this team close the first time, looking to spread things out a little bit the second time around. And they have put up the first 2 scores of the game, and now they'll kick off to these Hornets here with 8:25 left to go in the first half. And another short kick, and getting down immediately is the up man for Edina, Hamza Kaheen. And so Edina will take over once again. And so Sanveen and this Hornets team has got some work to do. And we know they can score, or were able to score at least, against this Centennial defense. They scored 28 points in this first matchup of the season, but this is a different Centennial team, of course, than the first game of the year, too. We talked about Edina has played a little differently since that first game. So has Centennial. They've been very stout defensively, and Sanveen, quick roller off to the far side. That's Aiden Breifogel, the tight end, and he'll have first down yardage up past midfield down to the 45-yard line, a 15-yard pickup. Breifogel, the 6'4", 220-pound junior. That's his 13th catch of the year. Usually short yardage situations, 12 catches, but only 82 yards. As the handoff will go up the middle, and again, not much there for the deep back for Edina. Maybe a 2-yard gain on the play by Jonathan Bunce, and it'll be second down and long. To the line. Throw to the near side for Moline. Is wide open. Down the sideline. He breaks the tackle and he's in. Touchdown, Edina. A 43-yard strike from Sanveen to Moline, and it's 14-6. So just a couple of plays, just 3 plays on the drive, and only 53 seconds later, after the touchdown score by Centennial. And now Edina is in for the first time. Fensky to try and tack on the extra point. And it's up and good, and so with 7:33 remaining, a long touchdown strike, 37 yards. From Sanveen to Hamza Moline, his 5th touchdown catch of the year. He's by far their leading receiver, 576 yards. Lucas Fleming is second with 354, so more than 200 yards between the number 1 and the number 2 receivers for Edina. Check that, a 43-yard touchdown pass First catch of the day from Aleem. It's a big one. And it cuts the deficit in half for the Hornets. This is what happened the last time around. A lot of big plays between these two teams. And we see it here and again tonight. A 37-yard pass and now a 43-yard pass between these two teams. And it is starting to present itself as another back and forth game here in this second round of the Section 6A tournament. This time a short kick for Edina, and then one hop. O'Neill will take it up the middle. Up past the 30-yard line, and Centennial will have it at the 32.
First down.
The Cougars now will have to try and find a way without Carter Anderson, we presume. Centennial losing just 2 games this season. One of them, the aforementioned Hornets. The other on the 20th of September when they lost to Totino Grace, 27-19. We mentioned the Totino Grace playing tonight at home against the Shakopee Sabres. High formation on first down. Zalk on the pitch to Larson. It has some room for about 5. And that'll bring up second down. Eric Knudsen was the single receiver that time. That will be of something to watch, as outside of Anderson, not much offense at all on the wide receiver position. Most of the passes, when they do go in the air and don't go to Anderson, go to running backs. Larson with 126 yards in the air. Tim O'Neill with 100 yards as well. Second down and 5. Zalk misdirection, hands off to Larson, and maybe a yard on the play, but Edina was not fooled at all, as Will Davis, the defensive end, was able to make the stop. And so third down and 4 as we approach the midway point of this second quarter. Knudsen will bring the play in for Centennial. He'll be the receiver, split off to the near side. Motion in the backfield and looked like a halfback pass, but instead O'Neill will take it up the middle and he'll have yardage for the first down. Up to the 44-yard line, a 6-yard gain on 3rd and 4, and O'Neill is able to pick up the first down. Just a moment, I don't know if it was the way he shifted his hand. It looked like maybe it was just the way he shifted the football, but from this vantage point, it looked like maybe he was thinking about throwing the football, but a first down from the 44 now for Centennial as they move the chains. Knudsen, the lone receiver to the left. Zalk will keep it. That's a hole initially, and then brought down into the arms of Jonathan Bunce, the middle linebacker. And so another 5-yard gain. Centennial will take that every day and twice on Sunday. 5 on first down, and it sets up your offense for a whole lot of different things on second and third down, but you have to move the football with some substantial yardage on first down in order to do that, especially when they're down one offensive receiver. Zalk ready out of the pistol this time on second down. Larson again in motion. The handoff goes to Larson. He's got a first down. And Noah Larson sprinting through the middle, and with an initial burst of speed and down to the 39-yard line. Good burst. Looks like the Hornets were fooled on that play. They thought Flashing had the football, and instead Larson was able to take it up the middle. And so first down yardage up to the 39. High formation on first down. O'Neill off to the left, Knudsen as well. Zalk will keep. And Got hit hard. There's a flag on the play. We'll wait to see. Gain of about 3, but this is thrown in the area of holding, so we'll wait. Could also be a face mask. No, it's going to be holding against Centennial, so that's going to move them back 10. It'll be second down, or check that, first down and 20. We'll see a lot of maybe right there. Sonderman maybe. Hard to tell when there's so many bodies in a small area of space what the officials saw, but nonetheless, it's going to come back. First down and 20, all the way back to the 49-yard line near midfield. And this is where losing a weapon like Anderson makes a big difference, when you do not have somebody that can spread the field through the air. Zolk's going to try anyways, though, throwing deep to the far side, and that is on the ground. Looked like Flashing might come up with it there, but he had to come back on it a little bit, and in the end, he ended up on the ground after slipping. It nearly dropped right in his breadbasket, though. And watch here, he tries to keep it alive, and right there on first effort, well, wait. There it is. That's on the ground. Good call by the officials. It looked like it was in the air. He batted it in the air, and it looked like maybe it might stay up, but it looked like maybe it hit the ground on second time around. So now second down and 20. Well, we've got a whistle, and Centennial is going to use their third and final timeout here with 3:41 remaining in the first half. So, again, not seeing something that they wanted to see out of their offense, either the way they lined up or the way Edina lined up defensively, and they decide it's best to use their third and final timeout. So 3:41 to go. And a big play here for both teams. Edina hoping to get the football back. They took less than a minute to score the last time they had the football, so well aware that their offense can move the football down the field quickly if they get the football back. They also have all 3 of their timeouts, so if they could pick up a couple of defensive stops here, they could get the football back with some time and have a chance to tie this game. As you see some of the brave Edina fans coming all the way to support their team on the far side of the football field. And the home crowd. Halloween yesterday, so a couple of different costumes out in the crowd tonight. One of these teams trying to dress up as a winner in this second round action tonight. And Centennial leading by a touchdown with the football. As that one incomplete. Noah Larson unable to come up with it. Looked like, again, maybe overrunning the football just a little bit. And now third down and 20. Dahl again on the coverage. He was the defensive player on the coverage when Anderson was hurt on the touchdown play. Third and 20. They have to get down just inside the 30-yard line. And they'll spread it out. Larson will come along with Knutson to the right. Mason Lindsay split off to the left. Good protection over the middle. The pass is caught, but well short of the first down. Mason Lindsay comes up with the catch. Just his third catch of the season. It'll be about a 13-yard gain, and now we have a whistle and a timeout called by Edina. So they see an opportunity here. They'll use their first timeout with 3:21 to play in the half. And the question now is, what does Centennial do? They're on the 38-yard line, so potentially they could punt, but it would be a short punt, and if it goes into the end zone, it would net just 18 yards. But if you go for it and don't get it, you give Edina pretty good field position up at the 37-yard line, and you can see what their offense can do when they get into a bit of a rhythm. So we'll see what they come out. It'll be 4th and 8. I would assume they will punt the football, but stranger things have happened. This especially in the postseason. Aaron Lemker trying to get the football back. Looks like Zolk is in the huddle, though. And one other point to be made is Anderson is the punter. Zolk is the backup punter. Right now they're kind of sort of half lined up like they're going to go for it here, but we'll see if they drop back into a punting formation here. Zolk looking to the sidelines. 8 seconds left on the play clock. And they might just run this one all the way out, take the 5-yard penalty, and then punt. And that's exactly what they're going to do. So option C is what they decided to do, take the 5-yard penalty. And Edina could potentially decline this penalty and go for naught, but they're going to, well, let's see. Initially, they're going to walk the football off, and they will take it. So back to the 42-yard line. And now they will punt. Although that's not Zolk deep to punt. And the kick high and deep, and it's taken back at the 3-yard line. And a good punt. And hardly any return as the punter, number 36, Carter Kohler, booted it down inside the 5-yard line. What a great punt after the 5-yard penalty. And there's Kohler coming in and booting it high and deep. And Edina pinned back at the 16-yard line. So it works out for the Cougars so far. Now 2 timeouts for Edina, 3:09 to go, and here comes Sanveen. On a 54% passer on the season. And he's got 1 receiver to either side on first down as he'll roll to his right, the far side, and well to the far side of Lucas Fleming. And it'll be 2nd down, coverage on the play by O'Neill. So 2nd down, and still 3:07 to go. So if Edina unable to connect with their receivers, Centennial could get the football back potentially with a lot of room to operate and maybe some time left on the clock despite not having any timeouts. Sanveen on 2nd down will throw to the far side, and the pass is incomplete, but I believe there is a flag on the play. There is, and this is potentially going to be pass interference against Flashing, but we'll wait and see. Maybe holding, depending on when it was thrown. And it looks like, I believe it was pass interference. As the throw comes through, and you can see Flashing just kind of got wrapped up. I don't know if it was intentional, but the two kind of tried to trade places. Illies, the ball came on the far side of Flashing, and they just got wrapped up, and it works out for Edina. 1st down here from the 31-yard line. Right around 3 minutes to play here in this first half. Quick drop and the throw over the head, and another flag comes in. Now we have to watch for this one because that ball was well over the head of Hamza Malim. I'm not sure if he could have caught that if he had another 2-second head start. And it is indeed another penalty against the Cougars. And let's watch this one. Just the quick 3-step drop, and looks where Malim is. Boy, I don't know if he was all alone if he could have caught that ball. In any case, it'll be another 1st down up to the 41-yard line. 2:56 left in the first half as the handoff up the middle and a big hole. Running his bunts, and he's up close to another 1st down. So back-to-back penalties for pass interference, and then Bunce is able to weave his way forward for another 1st down. Clock running now at 2:44 and counting. Malim on the right, Fleming on the left. for the receiving corps. Sanveen now is changing the play. Centennial crowd getting into it here on 1st down and 10. Sanveen's got time, throws, and it's incomplete. That pass underthrown for Fleming. So now 2nd down and 10. Of course, as we mentioned before, this is a game where some consider the outcome of their first matchup in part due to some suspect calls in the game. So back-to-back pass interference calls here late in the first half as we see Sanveen's numbers. Just 2 receptions, but remember one of those was a 43-yard strike to Malim for a touchdown. Sanveen this time goes to the far side, and that's overthrown. And Malim behind that one, and so 3rd down and 10. Edina is on the plus side of the field here for Centennial, but just by 1 yard. It'll be 3rd down and 10. They have to get to the 39-yard line, or they too may be forced to punt late in the half. Four along the line for Centennial as the handoff goes up the middle, and Bunt says nowhere to go. A gain of a yard maybe, but it'll be a 4th down situation. With no timeouts, Edina choosing to run some of the clock off on a 3rd down and 10 instead of make a mistake. They'll run this clock, and they too might run it all the way down. Well, it looks like they might go for it here. Or it may be just to try and draw the Cougars off sides. We'll wait. 10 seconds yet left on the play clock. And they're just going to run this down too. So both teams look like they're playing out of the same playbook. And did they take a timeout? They did take a timeout. So they ran the play clock all the way down, but instead of taking the penalty, they called the timeout. And so with 1:25 to go, they will potentially punt the football and hope to pin Centennial deep enough. And with no timeouts, Centennial may be implored to just run the clock out and go to halftime with the lead. Centennial did receive the opening kickoff, so Edina will receive the ball to start quarter number 3, so that also might play into it. The Hornets would rather run it down and try and keep Centennial out of the end zone and get the football back to try and tie it again than make a mistake here. And I think that's what we saw in their 3rd down play when they handed off to Bunce instead of trying to throw the football and pick up the 1st down. Centennial, meanwhile, has to watch out potentially for a fake. Middle of the field. I wouldn't think that Edina would try something like that here, but last game of the year, can't hold anything back now. So 4th down and 9. And they're going to go for it. They are going to go for it. Their punter, Seymour, not on the field. Sanveen under center. They drop back. Pressure is coming, and down he goes. Back at the 47-yard line, it's Mason Mix. Starting in place of Garrett Strading with the big sack, and Centennial takes over with good field position and 80 seconds yet remaining in the first half. How about that? The sophomore splitting the middle of the defense and taking down Sanveen, and Centennial will have the football at the 45-yard line. No timeouts, but 1:20 remaining. And so here's the throw on 1st down, and the pass caught by Knutson, who breaks the tackle, and he's got close to 1st down yardage. And that is a decision that will be interesting to see what the thought process was. Going for it on 4th and 9 from midfield. And they have put Centennial in the driver's seat right now as Zulk on 1st down. has plenty of time. Throws over the middle, and that one flipped right past Mason Lindsay, and so it'll be 2nd down and 10. What an opportunity handed to the Centennial Cougars. Instead of punting on 4th down and 9 and pinning the Cougars back, the Hornets essentially hand them midfield. And with no timeouts, they still have 1:08 to work with. They can even throw it over the middle of the field because the clock will stop on a 1st down. Second down and 10 as the Cougars break huddle. Up to the line quickly. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. As the handoff goes up the middle, and not much there. As Flashing gets the call, only a yard or 2 gain, and now quickly back up to the line. Under a minute to go. 3rd down and 8. Again, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Zolk will roll to the left. Sets and throws, and the pass is incomplete. Knocked down nicely by the defensive back, the strong safety, Hamza Kaheen, making the stop. And so Centennial now has a 4th down decision to make. And in this situation, it makes a little more sense to go for it, at least than it did for Edina. Receivers off to the left, 1 to the right. That's Knutson to the right. Lindsay and Larson off to the left. Zolk with plenty of time again. He throws over the middle. It's caught at the 20-yard line, and the clock stops for the 1st down. Mason Lindsay again. 38.8 seconds to go. Clock will start, and Zolk will clock it. 36.4 to go here in the 1st half. And we'll watch again as Lindsay, who comes in with just 2 catches, has a couple of big catches here. And one right there with Hamza Kaheen right on top of him. He's able to make the catch, and it's enough for the 1st down to move the chains and allow Centennial to keep the football as well. That was a 4th down play. As Zolk, after clocking the football, able to come over to the sideline. They'll spread Knutson to the right. Lindsay to the left. Slot back to the right is Larson, and now a timeout is called. So Edina will use their 3rd and final timeout here with 36 seconds to go. And no shortage of drama in this one. We've had long scoring plays, short scoring drives. We've unfortunately had some injuries, and now we've had a number of 4th down plays, some that have gone to the favor of the Cougars, and one questionable one that Edina may wish they had back. So now 2nd down and 10 out of the timeout. Coach Lamker working with his defense, and now Zolk out of the huddle as well. Two receivers right, 1 to the left here on 2nd down and 10. Larson, the slot back to the right. Zolk in trouble, and down he goes. All out blitz coming for Edina. And 2 different players got to him. Aiden Anderson, the defensive tackle. The clock is running, so Centennial's got to hurry. 21 seconds, now 20 seconds. Zolk still looking. Finally, 14 seconds to go. It's 2nd down and long. Zolk will throw quickly, and the pass is caught, but it is short of the 1st down, and the clock will run, and that will be how the 1st half will end unless they can snap it quickly. Nope, the clock says zeros, and the half comes to a close. So the sack and then the short play, and you can see the frustration on the face of Coach Diggins as they were unable to get the late game plays either out of bounds or stopping the clock after the sack. And so that's how the 1st half ends, with the Centennial Cougars nonetheless leading the Edina Hornets by a score of 14-7. We'll take a break. You're watching the Class 6A 2nd round state tournament action here on North Metro TV.
Share new perspectives with North Metro TV. Capture breathtaking cinematic images. Business exteriors, scenic landscapes, sporting events, or community images. With a professional videographer at the controls, North Metro TV will tailor a package for your budget. For high-quality photo and video aerials, contact North Metro TV.
We're back at Centennial. Halftime score, Centennial 14, Edina 7. And it's been a good one, back and forth action here, just as it was the first time around between these two teams. And Connor Zolk, the first time around, was able to pick up some big yardage en route to scoring the touchdown that put Centennial in the lead. Zolk scoring his 10th touchdown of the season on the ground, and that puts Centennial up by a score of 7-0. As Zolk leads us to the second quarter, where this time through the air, Zolk with the long pass, a 37-yard pass to Anderson. Carter Anderson making the catch, but unfortunately rolling his leg under the defensive back during that catch and had to be walked off the field. We have not seen him on the field since. That allowed Edina to get back into it. Sandveen was able to connect just a couple of plays later, a 3-play drive that culminated with this 47-yard touchdown score to Hamza Malim, and that cut the deficit in half to 14-7. And that's where we sit at this moment. But as you take a look at the statistics in the first half, it's been all Centennial passing yards, more than twice for Centennial to the Hornets 58. Also on the ground, a big differential. Centennial 113, only 16 yards on the ground. And if you take out that 43-yard pass completion, Edina would be only at 31 yards total offense. So overall, the Centennial defense with a stellar first half, just the one big play for Edina. And because of that, Centennial holds the lead at half, 14-7. Edina will get the football to start the second half, however, so far from over in this second round matchup between these two teams here in the 6A football tournament. We'll take another break. We'll come back with more from Centennial High School. 14-7 Cougars here on North Metro TV.
Blaine, Minnesota, located just 15 miles north of the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, is one of the fastest growing full-service communities in all of Minnesota. Blaine features great amenities such as the National Sports Center, home to the USA Cup Youth Soccer Tournament, the largest youth soccer tournament in the world, the TPC of the Twin Cities Golf Course, and many great parks and trails. Blaine has life cycle housing for families of all sizes and income levels, from apartments to townhomes to starter homes, with high-end executive homes and senior living facilities also available. Blaine's employment opportunities are numerous and diverse. Blaine is home to high-tech companies such as Infinite Campus and Streamworks, as well as many well-paying industrial and light industrial companies located throughout the city. Retail shopping and dining opportunities are also abundant in Blaine, with retail centers like Northtown Mall, the Village of Blaine, and Victory Village. When considering where to relocate yourself, your family, or your business, Blaine should be at the top of your list.
And we're back, started the second half here in this second round action. Centennial leading Edina 14-7. But Edina will get the football to start this second half. So anything still up for grabs here as we go into the second half of this one. The winner moves on to play the winner of the Wayzata East Ridge game, which is going on tonight. That game would be played Friday, November 8th. So next Friday, that one at Chanhassen High School. And these Cougars looking to try and get past Edina for a couple of reasons, most notably to get to that next round. As we are underway, the second half, as Alex Illies will take the return and has a good return back to the 26-yard line. Looked like he was going to be stopped maybe back at about the 15-yard line, but found some extra room. So Edina will have decent field position to start this first drive of the second half. Darren Lamker looking to get his team's offense going in the second half. We saw in those statistics in half that they're, with the exception of maybe one play, they didn't have a whole lot of offense in this first half. Sandveen on first down, the give, and nothing doing. There just hasn't been any room at all on the ground against this Cougar defense. Defensively has a 2-yard gain, and let's throw it down to Blythe Whaley with more. Blythe?
Yeah, getting to talk here with the coaching staff at halftime. It was interesting to hear from the Hornets. I mean, at the beginning of this one, they were telling me they want to run the ball. They want to take this time off the clock. And, of course, now sitting down at halftime by 7, they want to make sure that they score. They want to drive. We saw that drive in just a little over a minute. And so this coaching staff, of course, needs to get those tackles as they continue going into this one, but they don't want to be pushed off that line of scrimmage. But then we're talking with the coaching staff of Centennial, of course, excited to be up 14-7 in this one. But then as they're looking at the scoreboard, they're also knowing this isn't going to be the final score of this one. So they need to make sure they keep doing what they've done all season as this one rolls forward. And with Carter Anderson out, what does that look like for their offense? But definitely they feel excited and looking forward to what this second half will bring.
All right. Thank you, Blythe. Yeah, no doubt about it. The offense, a very different piece for Centennial without Carter Anderson. Third down, and here's a big run for Bunce, a first down. Moving around the tackles past midfield, all the way down to the 40. Cutting around to the 30. Oh, makes another move to the 10, 5, and out of bounds at the 2. A 65-yard run by Jonathan Bunce as he rumbles down the football field, and it'll be first down and goal to go for Edina. The big 6'3", 210-pound senior weaving his way with those cat-like moves there, and then just pounding his way through, weaving again. What a run for Bunce, and then trying to get ahead, unable to get past the pack, as this one will be down at about the 1. 65-yard run, and then Bunce picks up 1. The various types of runs of Jonathan Bunce there in the last 2 carries. So it'll be second down and goal now from about the 2. They'll mark him for just about no gain on that play. He is the deep back here on second down. Angelos in front of him, and Bunce gets the carry, and he drives in for the score. And so we talked about it before, first in the air and now on the ground. The big quick strike offense of the Edina Hornets. Just 2 minutes and 17 seconds into this third quarter, and they are an extra point away from tying things up. As the extra point is up, and it is good. And we are tied just 2 minutes and 17 seconds into this third quarter. How about that run by Jonathan Bunce as he plows his way down the field and weaves his way through tacklers and setting himself up for his own score 2 plays later. As we go back once again, let's take a look at that play again as he finds an initial hole. Breaks 1 tackle, that's 2. Stiff arm for 3. Then cuts the other way, 4. There's another missed potential tackle. That was 5 before finally Tim O'Neill is able to drag him out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So 65 yards, and now here's the score by Bunce as he plows his way forward, not weaving his way through any sort of types of defender as he goes in for the score. And so we are right back to where we started. A tie game at 14. Centennial the first 2, but Edina the next 2. 87 yards so far for Bunce. But remember, they only had, I believe, 11 yards rushing or 13 yards rushing in the first half. They have completely flipped that on its end here in the second so far on a couple of big plays. And now a squib kick up to the 25-yard line. And this will be brought up past the 30 to about the 32-yard line. And that was Brandon Reika, but they'll say he is down back at the 20, check that, the 34-yard line. We'll have to see. Reika appears that he didn't believe, at least he touched the ground, and let's take a look. As Reika trying to push his way forward. Now the question, well, he certainly wasn't down. The question was whether or not they believed his forward momentum was stopped. So Reika definitely not putting a knee on the ground there, but when the whistle blew, the officials believed that his forward momentum had stopped at that point. And Centennial losing out on potentially some big yards there, but it's a judgment call. As Zulk will keep it on first down and just up to the 35, maybe a half a yard gain, but no more. As this is a fired up Edina team now who has scored twice in a row to tie things up. Zulk with a good first half on the ground and in the air. One touchdown pass throwing, one touchdown rush for the quarterback. As Larson will get the carry, and he's buried back in the backfield. A whole host of Hornets, a swarm of them even. As the tackle made by Richards, and now Richards goes down. He made the initial stop, but he might have a cramp of some sort because he was up and then all of a sudden went right back down. Looks like they're going to try and work on that right leg. And yeah, this has all the trappings of a cramp here. Something in the lower leg maybe. And so an injury timeout here with 8:43 to go. And you can see that right leg really locking up. And so Richards getting the big tackle, the junior defensive lineman, but has to be helped off, and he is walking pretty gingerly off the field. It'll be 3rd down and 10 here for Centennial. One receiver will line up to the left as well as a slot back. That's O'Neill. Motion by Larson. Zulk dropping back, throwing, and it's underthrown. O'Neill was open, but overrunning the football, and it'll be 4th down. And so Centennial will have to punt, and they're going to give the football back to an Edina offense that has found their rhythm a little bit. So it'll be 4th down. Carter Kohler is back to punt. If you remember, late in the first half, he booted a pretty nice looking one deep, pinning Edina down to the 10-yard line. Snap is off. This one end over end, and it will bounce on the ground. And that was touched by a Hornet, and now he's got to pick it up. He kicked it with his foot. That's Sawyer Anderson. Now up to the far side, and a big hit on the far side at the 43. And so pretty good field position despite the fact that Edina had an issue with that. You watch it right here, and Anderson looks like he wants to get out of the way, and then he just boots it with his left foot and has to go back to get it. But sometimes those broken plays are the best plays on a punt return like that. And a nice Tackle on the play by Isaiah Bettinger, the 6-foot senior defensive tackle on special teams. On first down, a big hole this time for Edina as Bunce gets the carry again, and a gain of about 5 on first down. Bunce didn't carry the ball a whole lot in the first half. We saw Illies more than Bunce in the first half, but Bunce has been the carrier here in the second half. And he'll get it again, the deep back, and he'll push his way forward for about 3.5. Illies and Bunce are two different types of runners altogether. Illies are a smaller back, 5'10", 170. Bunce is 6'3", 210. Much more of a fullback body than a running back. But it has been more effective here for Edina here in the second half. Third down and about 1.5 yards. Bunce the deep back again, and he'll get the call, and he has enough for the first down. So maybe instead of the finesse game here for Edina, they're looking to try and put on more of a power game in the second half, and so far it has been effective against this Cougar defense. First down will be from the 47. Having said that, Bunce is not the type of player you would expect to rip off a 65-yarder either, but he has done that here in the second half. Bunce the deep back out of the eye on first down, this time play action. And they'll throw to a wide open receiver over the middle. That's Aiden Breifogel. And the tight end will pick up a first down. And that's the danger when the running game starts to work for a team, is that they can utilize that to the defense's disadvantage. The defense starts to think about run, and then all of a sudden you find wide open receivers right in the zone there, just like Breifogel was able to do there. So first down and 10 from the 36-yard line. The receiver to the left is Hamza Malim. He caught the long touchdown earlier this game. This time Bunce is bottled up. Maybe a yard gained on the play, second down. Malim, a 43-yard touchdown catch back in the second quarter, we mentioned. And then Bunce, the other touchdown, a 1-yard run following the 65-yard run that preceded it. They gave him 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8. As Sandveen breaks the huddle. It'll be another I formation. Bunce the deep back again. And he'll get the call, and he's got a hole again. This time it closes up fairly quickly, but not before a gain of another 3 or so. Tackle on the play by Brandon Rika for Centennial. So a third down and 5 coming up. Without straining in the game, Rika, the leading tackler on this team for current players right now, came into the game with 81. Third down and 4. As the drop back, the throw, a wide open receiver. That's Malim inside the 20, and it'll be another first down for Edina. All the way down to the 16-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And Edina in business again. As we take a look again, Malim, just a post route and then cut back to the sideline. And then cutting forward for another 4 yards. So first down and 10. And Bunce again, weaving his way and finding more room inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Another 4-yard gain. This is a drive that started short of midfield, but good field position for Edina back at around the 45-yard line. Receivers either side. And bunts again. This time bottled up and pushed back. Good penetration there from the defense for Centennial. Mason Mix in on the stop. And so third down. They'll give Bunts another yard. Even when he gets stopped, he gets positive yardage right now. A good game for the sophomore. And the big sack on the fourth down play late in the first half that turned the football over and stopped an Edina drive late in the half. Third down and 4. They have to get to the 8-yard line. Bunts will get the carry, waiting, but there's nowhere to go as the whole host of Cougars able to get in on the stop, and it'll be fourth down. Mix again is in on the stop, and the sophomore is fired up. You see Bunts, he's just waiting, and there's Mix stirring the pot. And back to the 15-yard line, and Edina looks like they are going to attempt a field goal. This would be a 36-yard try. Jackson Fensky is their kicker. And this one is going to be short. Never had a chance. And so we remain tied here with 2:25 to go in the third quarter. Edina with the drive, but this time the Cougar defense comes up true. And this Cougar offense now will try and get going. You see the snap back, and it looks like it's a clean kick. It was, but just not enough steam in the engine to get it there. And you see Fensky, I'm not sure what he's thinking there. He thought maybe, I don't know. I don't think there was any reason why there was any third-party source that caused that to be short. And so here are the Cougars now. 2:25 to go in the third. And Zolk is out. High formation here for the Cougars on first down. And Zolk will keep it. The pitch will go to Larson. He's got some room to the 25-yard line. And Centennial will pick up about 5 here on first down. Centennial trying to relearn the offense a little bit after they lose Carter Anderson. And when you lose a player like that, your whole offense kind of has to shift because everything runs through a player like that. And when he's not there, you have to shift people around and put people in maybe some positions they're not used to being in. There's the handoff. This time we'll go to Flashing, and he'll cut forward and has the first down. An 8-yard run for Austin Flashing, and the sticks will move. Working quickly now is Zolk on first down. The handoff up the middle again. And good gain on first down again by Flashing. He'll pick up 4. A whole new game after Centennial scored the first 2 touchdowns, and Edina not able to move the football hardly at all in the first quarter and a half. It looked like Centennial might try and spread this game out a bit, but there are the Hornets now tied. Second down and 6. And Zolk keeps it, and this time buried in the backfield. Wrapped around by Henry Vellner. As the defensive line wraps him up, and I believe he'll lose a yard on the play. And so third down and 7 coming up after the 1-yard loss. Edina maybe keying in on the quarterback, knowing that the offense has to run primarily on the ground now. Although the receivers for Centennial, Lindsay and Knutson, have come up with some big catches since the senior Anderson left the game. Third down and 7. As the handoff will be to O'Neill. Looking for room, and there's nothing there, and a big hit. And it'll be fourth down. Jonathan Bunts doing it on defense. As the middle linebacker coming up, and a big hit there will make it fourth down. You see O'Neill waiting for his blockers, and they just never come, and then Bunce does come in a big way with a big hit, and Centennial is going to be forced to punt. As Kohler, the backup punter, is in, back at the 17-yard line. Anderson and Illies are deep to receive back at the 30 for the Edina Hornets, but we may not have a punt until the fourth quarter. The final seconds running down, and we have reached the end of the third quarter. So these two teams will switch sides, and it is all tied up as we go to the fourth quarter. Another tight one between the Hornets and the Cougars, and the fourth quarter coming up after this here in the 6A football tournament on North Metro TV.
Pecorino, Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Canaletto, Saccomano, Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino, Allegretto ma non troppo, piano piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
We are set for quarter number 4, and the winner of this one will move on to play either Wayzata or East Ridge, and the loser's season will come to a close. So a tight, dramatic finish coming up potentially here as Centennial will punt it away. Carter Kohler deep at his own 17. Check that, the 22, and a high snap. He'll get it off, and a good end-over-end punt, and Sawyer Anderson will get away this time, and it will die at the 30-yard line. 33-yard punt, no return. Remember, Sawyer Anderson booted it the last time. Ended up picking it up and picking up a decent gain, but nonetheless a dangerous play for a punter. And now here comes Sanveen again. We'll see if Edina can move the football this time. There's the other Diggins on the sideline for Centennial. There's Edina, first down lineman for Centennial, and Bunce gets the call and gets into the secondary. And a big gain on first down. And something has clicked for Edina, and Bunce has found his way for some big gains there. And that one was a shoestring tackle away from being another big gain. A nice play there by Zach Osmick to make the stop. Second down and short, and this opens the playbook up now. On second down, as Bunce will get the carry, and this time bottled up in the backfield. Carter Kohler kind of got underneath Bunce, and Bunce just got it tripped up, and they're going to lose a couple on the play, back close to the 35-yard line, close to a 3-yard loss. As we watch here, Bunce initially gets bottled up by his own lineman, and then he tries to cut right, and Kohler just happens to be laying around to trip him up. And so third down and 4, big play here for the Hornets. Bunce is deep behind Gus Angelos. Now changing the play. Sanveen is under center, dropping back, and a throw to the near side, and the pass is caught, and then fumbled. That's on the ground, and now they'll say it's incomplete. It looked like Fleming had the football, and then it popped out, but the officials will say it is an incomplete pass. That was close. So nonetheless, it'll be fourth down, but let's take a look. As Sanveen, quick drop. Fleming is there. He makes the catch. 1, 2, 3. Oh, boy. That looked like a catch and a fumble, but it will be an incomplete pass. And so Edina will punt as Seymour is back. And O'Neill is deep to receive. And now we have a whistle, and do we have a timeout on the field? Timeout Centennial. And so Centennial will call their first timeout here with 10:29 to go. Centennial used up their full assortment of timeouts in the first half. And now we'll call their first time out here with 10:28 remaining in a tie game. So something they saw out there was not something they liked. And again, in a tie game late, we've seen Edina roll the dice earlier already. It was 4th and 9 from midfield, and they went for it. And it would be a surprise nonetheless if they had gone for a fake punt, but this might be the perfect place to do it because maybe Centennial wouldn't see it coming based on where they were at on the field. So Centennial thought best to take a timeout and make absolute sure that everybody knew where they were supposed to be prior to the kick, or the supposed kick. Seymour again deep to punt. A little bit of a rush and a short kick. This is going to be a short kick. It's going to bounce at the 42 and take an Edina hop down to the 34, but a short kick. Just a 28-yard kick with no return, and so pretty good field position coming up for Centennial with 10:18 to go. The next score might be the winner, so both teams have to play as though any score is going to be the difference in the ball game. So the chess match is on here between the Hornets and the Cougars as Mike Diggins and Darren Lamker try to battle wits. As the Cougars will split one off to the left here on first down. Larson is deep out of the eye. And Larson will get the call on first down and a couple of yards, just pushing backwards up to the 39-yard line. Gain of 4 on the down and second down. 2nd and 6 coming up for Centennial. As we're under 10 minutes remaining now in regulation. This is about the time when any good broadcaster switches from the fourth quarter to regulation or anything like that. You might have some extra time in a game like this. 2nd down and 6. As Zolk will keep it, and just not a lot of room as Edina has really locked in on Zolk in the second half. Bunce is in on the stop, also there, Sawyer Anderson. Gain of a couple on the second down, and now 3rd down and maybe 4 to go for the first down. Spencer Waldvogel calling in the plays for the offense for the Cougars. Hard count here for Centennial. Still 15 on the play clock. Single receiver left, I believe, is Knudsen. And Zolk will keep it again, and he is close. We'll see where the spot is. He got spun around. It looks like they have the first down. The side judge on the near side, no doubt about it. He says move those chains. Darren Lamker didn't like the call on the far side of the football field, but Zolk just got across. He got spun around a bit, and that might have looked like he didn't have it. But at the end of the day, the one person that matters says it was good enough, and that's the side judge on the far side. First down and 10 as Knudsen splits off to the near side this time. Flashing the deep back. Larson in motion, and Zolk will keep it and has some room this time. First down yardage, and now a flag comes in late, and we'll wait for the call. That flag came back from the far side judge, deep in the defensive backfield, and Centennial seems to be moving backward, indicating the call will be against them. It's going to be holding downfield, and so Centennial will lose yardage, but it is a spot foul, so it'll be first down. They will only lose 2 yards on the play, even though it's a 10-yard penalty. It's a spot foul, so instead of having a first down and more, it's a first down and 12, and the downfield block called. So first down and 12 for Centennial. Zolk will give to the deep man, and Initially a good rush, but then hit hard as he cut through was Noah Larson. Gain of about 5 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7. We watch here. He gets an initial push after the fake, and then boom. Stop like he ran into a brick wall by Hamza Kahim, the strong safety coming in to make the hit. 2nd down and 7. Larson again in motion. He'll get the call. And there just isn't much room there as Edina's rush defense has really tightened up in the second half. We saw some big holes in the first half, but they just have not been there for the most part. And now it sets up a 3rd down and 6. And part of the reason, of course, is the fact that when you lose your main weapon in the air, that defense can afford to cheat a little bit. And because of that, it appears that that rushing game gets locked down. It's just more people playing the run. You see, Centennial's been pretty good on 3rd down, 4 of 10. Just 1 for 5 for Edina. 3rd and 6. And the throw to the near side is tipped and nearly intercepted. Nearly picked off by A.J. Dahl. And I believe it was Sawyer Anderson who did get his hand up there to tip the ball. And so a 4th down coming up here for Centennial. Let's watch it again. Is Zalk, and there's, Sawyer Anderson just getting that paw out there and nearly tipped it to Dahl. And so Kohler will punt it away to Sawyer Anderson, who's deep in his own 20. 6:34 to play. There's a line drive. This is going to end up in the hands of Anderson at the 15. And he cuts up field, spinning his way through. Gain of 13 on the return up to the 28-yard line. So Anderson playing it on the hop. 13-yard gain. And it'll be 1st down for Edina. And again, with 6:25 to go, both teams have to assume that the next score is going to do it. As Anderson will stay on the field, playing both ways. Outside linebacker. He's the return man and also one of the running backs. 415 yards on the ground this season, second only to Jonathan Bunce, although we haven't seen him much as an offensive weapon. He's been the fullback for a lot of the carries for Bunce. So he's been opening the holes and grading the road for Bunce. This time Sanveen drops back. He's got a man deep downfield, but the pass is overthrown. Double covered by Centennial. Nicely done there. As Pearson and Osmick were deep to cover that one, and so Centennial not wanting a deep play or a big play through the air, beating them here late. Second down and 10. We take a look again. Aleem just has no room to operate there. This time, the roll again. This time it'll go to Anderson, and Sawyer has the catch for a gain of about 4. 7 catches in the regular season for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns for Anderson. He makes his first catch tonight. And the tackle on the far side by Flashing. So now 3rd down. Lamkirk giving this quarterback the 3rd down play, just a junior, so presumably he'll be the starting quarterback again next year. They need to get to the 37-yard line. Single receiver to the right is Maleem. Pressure coming, and Maleem is open for the 1st down up to the 41-yard line. A 10-yard pitch and catch from Sanveen, and that will move the sticks. Maleem looked like he limped a little bit, but he'll stay on the field. As pressure came, but it was picked up nicely. Bunce was able to come out from that running back position and pick up the blitz back. And so Maleem for 10, and here comes Edina, 1st down and 10. Under 6 minutes to go now. As Bunce gets the carry and has some room off a one tackler and up to the near the midfield stripe at the 49-yard line. 8-yard carry on first down. Boy, Bunce has really carried the load here for the Edina Hornets in the second half. More than 100 yards rushing now. 5 minutes, 23 seconds and counting. There's Bunce again, and he evades one tackler and gets to midfield. It'll bring up third down and short. And as each minute ticks away, more drama builds in this one. Receivers either side. Fleming to the left, Malim to the right, and Bunce the deep back behind Angelos this time. Now changing the play. The Centennial crowd getting loud here. 3rd and a yard. Sandveen to Bunce, and the whistle blows and a flag, and we're going to have a false start against Edina. On 3rd and 1, somebody moved early. And so it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and now 3rd and 6. I believe that's just the second penalty of the day for Edina. Let's see if we can see who moved. Maybe, looked like maybe number 77, Bastian Swinney, was bobbing a bit. So 3rd down and 6. There you see the penalties. 2 for 10 for Edina. 6 penalties for 47, including back-to-back pass interference penalties during the same drive on back-to-back plays back in the second quarter. And now a timeout for Edina. So on 3rd down and 6, they elect to talk things over here with 4 minutes and 13 seconds officially on the game clock here. As the winner, again, will take on the winner between East Ridge and Wayzata. We did have a halftime score that Wayzata was fairly well in hand with that game, so we can assume that Wayzata will be the opponent. But nothing is for sure until it's for sure. And one thing that's not for sure is this game. We are locked in a 14-14 matchup. Here with just 4:13 to go. So 3rd down and 6. Let's see what Edina comes up with it. 3 receivers to the right and a low snap. Sandveen's got to go down to pick it up, and he'll go down back at the 31-yard line. Brandon Reika picking up the sack. All the way back at the 31. It's a 14-yard loss, and the Cougars with a big stop. And so Edina will have to punt the football, and Centennial, with fewer than 4 minutes to go in this one, will get the football back with some pretty good field position. That was a low snap. Sandveen never had it, and by the time he picked it up, Reika was right on top of him. Seymour deep to punt. Good punt, end over end, and the Cougars will let it go, and it will take an Edina bounce all the way inside the 25, down to the 23-yard line. Let's take a look at that again. A bad snap by Kirsch. It might have hit his leg, and by the time Sandveen got a hold of it, Reika was right behind him, was able to wrap those legs up and take him down for the big loss. And so Centennial now will have the football. 3:29 to go and 2 timeouts. And the question is, can they move the football here in the fourth quarter? They've been stymied throughout this second half, but can they get the big yards now when they really need it here in the fourth quarter? Single receiver to the right here on first down. As Reika will carry it And locked up after a couple of yard gain up to the 27-yard line, a 3-yard pickup. And second down. Zolk had the first quarter touchdown. It gave Centennial the early 7-0 lead, scored at the 5:08 mark of the first quarter. Second down and 7. Two tight ends set here on second down. No receivers. Eight seconds left on the play clock. Motion by Larson. Larson, or rather Zolk, and there's just no room. Maybe a couple of feet. But it'll bring up third down and 6. Centennial conservative on these first two plays. They'll give him credit up to the 29-yard line. It'll be third down and 5 to go. They have to get to the 34-yard line, or else they likely would have to give the football back to Edina. Mason Lindsay, the receiver, bringing the play in with 12 seconds left on the play clock. Lindsay to the left, Knutson to the right. Three backs in the backfield. Now O'Neill in motion to the right. Pressure is coming. They'll throw to the far side of the football field, and Bunce is all over the play. Larson on the catch, but he loses 4, and Bunce on the stop, and it'll be fourth down. Bunce read that play all the way and was able to pick up the receiver. It'll be fourth down and 9, and a minute 53 remaining. And Edina is going to get good field position out of this. As we watch Zolk again, throwing to the backside, but Bunce following the trail receiver. And just no room to operate for Larson. Centennial led this game at the 8:25 mark of the second quarter. They led this 14-0, but Centennial, or rather Edina, scored just 57 seconds later on a 43-yard touchdown pass to Hamza Malim. And then the only touchdown in the second half is a 2-yard run by Jonathan Bunce after a 65-yard run by Bunce to set the play up. He has been the player of the game here in the second half. Anderson deep to receive all the way up at the 41-yard line. Here's the kick. End over end. Anderson's going to take it on the fly at the 43. And he's got some room. Up to the 40. Up to the 35. Takes a hit but falls forward all the way to the 30-yard line. There is a penalty back near midfield. So we will wait. It would be just a net 6 on the punt, but it's holding against Edina. And because of that, it's going to be a first down. But I believe it'll be Edina football, but it'll be all the way back inside Hornet territory. The flag was at the 47 of Centennial, so it will be at the 43-yard line. So that results in a loss of 37 yards for Edina. It's only a 10-yard penalty, but they lose 37 yards on the return because of it. And a break for Centennial here with a minute and 41 seconds to go in regulation. Malim, the lone receiver, to the left. Fleming to the right, and the handoff will go to Sawyer Anderson, who falls forward after a couple to the 47-yard line, a gain of 4. Clock runs, both teams with 2 timeouts. Edina in no particular hurry. They don't want Centennial to get the football regardless here, so they will play it cool a bit as Sandvin throwing deep, and the pass is caught back at the 30-yard line. Lucas Fleming on the catch. 22-yard catch and a first down. A stop and go play by Fleming. Played okay by O'Neill, but Fleming was able to get in there to make the catch. 1 minute to go in regulation. Sandvin under center. And the pitch will go to Bunce. He cuts forward up to the 26. 4-yard gain, 46 seconds and counting. Edina not electing to call a timeout here. They have 2 remaining. Moline to the left, Fleming to the right. And Bunce will get the carry, and he plows forward. It's close to a first down, but a yard or 2 short, and now the timeout is called. 28.4 seconds to go. And the second of 3 timeouts here for Edina. And every time these 2 teams play, there seems to be some drama. We saw in the highlights before the game started, a playoff game here back in 2017 resulted in a 7-0 win for Edina. But Edina had to stop Centennial at the goal line 4 times. Then earlier this season, a 28-20 win for Edina, in which there were some controversial calls, we'll say, in the game that helped the Edina Hornets to get the ball in a couple of different positions in which they were able to score touchdowns and win the game. So now a playoff game here, once again, knotted up at 14. 28.4 seconds left on the clock, and Edina driving. Remember, Jackson Fensky attempted a 36-yard field goal earlier in the game and left it several yards short. So one would assume that they do not have a kicker that can get it there from more than maybe 30 yards or so, which means they'd have to get to the 13-yard line at best. Here's Bunce with the carry, and he'll fall forward. He's close to a first down, and they will stop the clock now with 20 seconds. Remember, the difference between a first down and not is the clock stops. So they whistle it dead now, and they're going to say that's a first down. So now to the 25. The clock will start when the whistle blows. Clock is running, 16 seconds, 15. And now Sandvin drops back, looking for the end zone, and the pass is intercepted! Intercepted by Centennial! It's Tim O'Neill! O'Neill steps in front and picks off the pass. A potential touchdown strike goes the other way, and we are almost certain for overtime now with 8.7 seconds to go. A game-saving and a season-saving interception for Tim O'Neill Jr. as the first, check that, second interception of the year. And O'Neill will be in the backfield as the knee will come down. The clock will run dry, and we are headed to overtime in this second round 6A matchup. What a game, and what a dramatic play by O'Neill at the most opportune time if you're a Centennial Cougars fan. As we will take a break, and we'll be back with overtime coming up after this. As O'Neill saving the day right now for the Cougars.
Pecorino, Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, rigoletto, cannelletto, saccomano. Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino. Allegretto ma non troppo, piano piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
Well, just your ho-hum 6A second round football game between the Edina Hornets and the Centennial Cougars. 14-14 as we head to overtime. And these two teams just can't get enough of each other, so we'll go yet another. As Centennial heading out to take the coin toss, they will do another coin toss, and then depending on who wins, we'll either get the ball first or which side of the field, basically restarting the game, and then both teams will get the football from the 10-yard line. And then the other team, the defending team, depending on what happens, well, actually, doesn't matter what happens, the other team will get the football to try and either tie or win, depending what happened to the first team. So it looks like, based on what is happening, I'm assuming that Edina won the toss, and Centennial had to decide which side of the field that we were going on. So we will watch to see what offense comes out, but we are headed regardless to the left side in your screen tonight. And it appears that Edina, yes, will defend first. So Edina won the toss and chose to play defense, which is what almost everybody will do. And Centennial will get the football first to try and score. So, first down, and Zulk is telling his crowd, the fans, to quiet down. He needs to see and hear a bit. And so Zulk on first down. First and goal from the 10. Motion by O'Neill, and Zulk will keep it himself, cutting forward, and he'll pick up 5 yards, close to 6 on first down. So second down and goal from the 5. Everything on the line here. Winner goes to the next round. Zulk will hand it off up the middle and a touchdown. Austin Flashing is in the end zone for the 3rd time this season. And Centennial scores first, and now Edina will get the football. So a 20-14 lead, pending the extra point. Hemrick is out. As the snap is up, it is good. And just 2 plays in, Flashing gets the touchdown, and it's 21-14. For the first time in quite some time, Centennial appeared that they were able to run the football a little bit on that play, but now the question is, can Centennial's defense stop Jonathan Bunce and the Edina Hornets? And now the defense imploring their crowd to get loud. And now a whistle, and they're gonna, not sure what the argument is here. First down and goal to go now. And now this Centennial sideline trying to get their crowd loud. Under center is Sanveen. The pitch goes to Bunce. He's got some room, but is bottled up after a gain of 3. The initial hole closes, and the tackle made by Flashing, who scored the touchdown. And now second down after a gain of 3. Malim will split off to the left, Fleming to the right. Sanveen, the pitch to Bunce. He's cut down in the backfield. A loss of 4 on the play. It looked like maybe the ball came out, but they will say that Bunce was down. If it was a fumble, And if Centennial had recovered, the game would have ended. A turnover for Edina would end the game here. Let's watch again as Bunce tried to cut forward, and he's definitely down there. The ball came out by hitting the ground. The ground cannot cause a fumble. 3rd down and 10. Sandveen is under center. The throw over the middle, and it's caught, but it is short of the end zone. It's Fleming, and he's down at the 1-yard line. So now 4th down. 4th down and 1 yard to go. Edina needs a yard to score, or else the game will end. 4th and a yard. Single receiver left. Sandveen is under center, and we've got a flag on the play. And was it offsides against Centennial? If so, it would be maybe a half a yard. Otherwise, well, let's see. We're still waiting for the call. It will be against Centennial, so it will be a loss of about a half a yard, or a gain of about a half yard for Edina. It's 4th down and goal. This is the same way the playoff game ended 2 years ago, potentially, on the goal line. Sandveen is under center. 4th down and goal. The handoff goes to Bunce, and he's in for a touchdown, and it is 21-20. So a chance here for Edina to tie it, but they need the extra point, or potentially do they go for 2? Jonathan Bunce has run roughshod on this defense in the second half. They might elect to go for 2 and try to win the game. We will wait and see. I do not see a kicker coming onto the field, and they're going to go for 2 and the win. Everything will lie on this play. Bunce will be the deep back behind Anderson. Single receiver left is Malim, and now a timeout is called. And so Centennial will call a timeout here, and the game will end on this play regardless. Either Centennial will get the stop, or Edina will get the score and move on. We believe that they will play Wayzata in the next round regardless of who wins. Wayzata was up 49-14 over Eastridge at halftime. So in all likelihood, it will be Wayzata against the winner of this one. Coaching staffs for both teams in the huddle. Can Centennial get the stop? Can Edina get the 2-point conversion? The answer coming up in just a few seconds from now. You can see Darren Lamker imploring his offense from the huddle. As the two teams coming back out. And this is the ball game. Bunce is the deep back. Sandveen, the last player on the field for Edina. No receivers. Everybody tight in on the line for both teams. Sandveen under center. Now Malim coming out from the end and going to the left, split out, and now we'll have another timeout. So now 2 timeouts. And so Edina calling back-to-back timeouts. Or rather, Centennial calling the first timeout, and now Edina calling the timeout. And it's a heavyweight battle here in this final play of this Section 6, or Class 6 second round game. Centennial had a 14-0 lead. Zalk on a 5-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, and then Zalk a 37-yard pass to Anderson for a touchdown to give Centennial a 14-0 lead. That was the play that Anderson was hurt on and has not been in the game since. Later in the half, Sandveen hit Malim for a 43-yard touchdown pass, and it was 14-7 at halftime. And then Jonathan Bunce, a 2-yard rushing touchdown, tied things up. And now here in overtime, flashing the touchdown run to give Centennial the lead. But bunts the touchdown run to make it 21-20, and here's the ball game. Moline split off to the left, bunts the deep back behind Anderson. Sandveen is under center. Now we have a pause. Some conversation between the referee and the Edina bench, and now we're ready to go. This is the ball game. Sandveen is under center. Snap is back. The handoff to Bunce, and he is spinning, and he's stopped at the goal line. Centennial wins it. Stopping Bunce right at the goal line, and a dog pile out on the field. By mere inches, the Centennial Cougars will move on. The final score, Centennial 21 and Edina 20. And what a fitting end to this ball game. Jonathan Bunce, who played so well in the second half, getting the call. He needed 3, he got 2, and almost that final foot, but he was stopped right at the goal line. The far side official came up the line, and he couldn't have been more than a foot from the end zone. And Bunce will lead his team in the congratulation line. Zolk for Centennial, and these two teams duked it out in this heavyweight fight. And Centennial, as you see Connor Anderson there, or check that, Carter Anderson rather, walking through the line with a walking boot and a pair of crutches. So Anderson hurt during the game, but these Cougars move on, and they'll take on either Wayzata or Eastridge. We don't have a final as of yet, but they will take on one of those teams in the next round next Friday night, November 8th. That'll be at Chanhassen High School, a 7 o'clock game, as the Cougars move on, a final score of 21-20. We're hoping to have some commentary from the field, but we'll take a break. And when we come back, more from Centennial as the Cougars, by mere inches, hang on as O'Neill and Larson getting the stop at the goal line. And the Cougars move on. We'll be back after this here on North Metro TV.
Chat and drink coffee, then maybe we could see if we could be. You and me. Let's get together and make believe we'll share our hearts and share our dreams. Now what do you think about you and me? Maybe we can always be forever you, forever with me. I bet you're thinking I'm a little too romantic. Oh, but baby, now don't get frantic, 'cause when I love, my loving's gigantic. Oh, and I think that's alright. Let me dream, oh, a girl can dream, and maybe it's not as crazy as it seems. Me loving you, you loving me right back. And now cut me some slack.
An apple core, or potato peels, that leftover pizza you promised you'd eat.
Ew.
Those dirty napkins and paper towels.
Stop
us like garbage.
Did you know up to 30% of what you're throwing away could be composted? Composting gives your discards new life, which can be used to improve soil. To learn more about the new organics drop-off programs available throughout the county and get your free starter kit, go to anokacounty.us/organics.
Pecorino, Campidoglio, vino rosso, vino bianco, cappuccino, Rigoletto, Canaletto, Saccomano. Vaporetto, Portofino, Leonardo, Amaretto, Marco Polo, Parmigiano, Caravaggio, Arlecchino. Allegretto ma non troppo piano, piano, Bardolino. Viva, 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 viva l'Italia, viva l'Italia, viva, 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 viva l'Italia che mi va.
Back here once again at Centennial as the presentation on the field is this round means that the state tournament for Centennial, of course, the tournament starts with 32 teams, but after these two games, we're left with the final 8, which is where the true state tournament begins. And so the presentation of the 2019 Class 6A Section 6 champion and the state participant trophy being handed, but the Centennial team hoping for bigger than that.
Let's go, baby! All right, get that to your team.
As you see once again, Centennial celebrating as they officially now a state tournament participant, and as we mentioned before, they'll take on either Eastridge or Wayzata in the next round. That'll be at Chanhassen next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Let's take a look at that last play one more time. The game-defining play here is Bunce weaving in. I mentioned the tackle there. Tim O'Neill and Zachary Osmick in the stop. And by the skin of their teeth in overtime, the Centennial Cougars besting the Edina Hornets. That coming up just short. And so the Cougars will move on. They have a record now of 8-2. Edina's season comes to a close, now a record of 5-5. As you can see, Carter Anderson holding the trophy right now. And if you joined us late, Anderson injured on a 37-yard touchdown pass. We don't know for sure, but the fact that on crutches in a boot, his season regardless may be over. And if so, his season would end on a 37-yard touchdown pass season as well. And of course, he is also a player that many are considered a Division I basketball recruit, and so his injury could be affecting his future sport in the wintertime as well. As the celebration is on here at Cougar Stadium as the Centennial Cougars get the win tonight, 21-20. Players out there as well as fans, parents, relatives all out on the field enjoying and celebrating in this moment. The final time many of these seniors, all of the seniors will play on this home field, so regardless of how far they go, next game will be at Chanhassen. Potentially the final two games, if Centennial is fortunate enough, would be at US Bank Stadium. So for all of these seniors, this is the moment that they will remember for their senior year. The final play is the one that clinches a trip to the state tournament, and that's a pretty special feeling for the seniors and for everybody else as well. A wonderful opportunity as well. And we have that final score for you. You can see the top of the bracket. Wayzata gets the win tonight over Eastridge, the final of 56-20. So we can now officially state that it'll be the number 1 seed of Section 6, Wayzata, or number 6, yes, against the number 3 seed, Centennial, here in that one. Number 2 seed, I'm sorry. So a 1 versus 2 in that bracket at Chanhassen High School next Friday night at 7 o'clock. You can see some happy faces, also some tears down there on the field. And I think we have some interviews ready. Let's throw it down to Blythe Whaley for more. Blythe, what do you got for us?
Yeah, of course, a lot of excitement down here on the field, getting to stand with a lot of these guys who had a big part in this win. We have Royka right next to me, O'Neill and Flushing. So we're going to start here with you, Royka. Of course, having straightening out with his injury, what was that like here on the defensive line, being able to get these stops here in this game today?
It was hard, but we knew we could do it. I mean, we're our brothers. We've been playing with each other forever, and we just trust each other. We fought through adversity the whole year, and we knew we had to do it again, and we did it. So.
What were your coaching staff saying as you're in this game, of course, down to the wire, having to get a stop here at the end of this one?
Just trust each other. Do what you do in practice. Just know your assignment, read your key, just play ball. That's all you have to do.
Being a senior, what does this win mean to you to be able to keep this one going with these guys?
It means so much. I love these guys. I enjoy practice every day. I'm just so happy we get to go to state. It's a dream come true, to be honest.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much. We're going to step on over here to you, O'Neill. Of course, you had a lot to do with this one to be able to take it to overtime, getting this, obviously, interception. What was running through your head as you were able to snag this one out of the air?
I knew we had to make a big play, so we did what we've been doing all year, and we did it. We've been practicing it, and it's done. We won.
Again, you're a senior as well. What has it been like being on this team with these guys, fighting through the adversity that you've had to here as of late?
We're a big family. We couldn't do without every one of us on the field. We trusted each other, and we made it happen.
So as you're moving forward in this one, what are you most looking forward to as you take a step to play your next opponent, which I think is going to be Wayzata?
Yeah, we want them. We want them bad. We know they're good, but we're better. We're going to beat them.
Well, great job today. Thank you so much. We're going to step on over here to you, Flush, and of course, getting this one across the end line to put this score on the board. What was the emotions running through your head?
Oh, it was unreal. I just trusted the O-line, and we got it done. I got through the end zone, and it was unreal.
What are the coaching staff telling you before you guys went out onto the field? I mean, at halftime, you guys are sitting up, and of course, that game gets tied up. How did you guys stay positive to get this win today?
We just trusted each other. We did our assignments, and we came out on top.
So, of course, I mean, on the offensive line, having Anderson out now, what does that look like as you guys have to step up going into this next one?
Just everybody's got to step up, next man up, and we'll find somebody. We always do. We're ready to go.
Well, it was great watching you. You guys did a fantastic job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, the excitement continues down here on the field, but we'll send it back to you guys up in the booth. But, man, oh my, it's electric down here.
All right, thank you, Blythe. And sounds electric, looks electric. It is electric because the Centennial Cougars just clinched a berth in the state tournament here in 2019. We watch it again. The final play of this one wrapped up at the goal line. Jonathan Bunce and a fired up defense there. Fired up Tim O'Neill, Zachary Osmick, and the entire defense and the entire team as the Centennial Cougars are moving on. And the team picture here is one with the trophy. That's the one you want to take here at the end of the season. Final score here again tonight, Centennial 21, Edina 20. A date with the Wayzata Trojans awaits next Friday night, 7 o'clock in Chanhassen, Minnesota, as the Cougars at 8-2 are the champions of this round and will move on to the state tournament. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to the Edina Hornets for a solid season as well. It's the Cougars 21, the Hornets 20. For everyone here with North Metro 15 and along for Blythe Whaley, I'm Nick Walsh signing off. You've been watching a production of North Metro TV. So long, everybody.